Hey designers, it's Mian, and in this chapter we will learn how to create user flows. User flows are closely related to the information architecture and structure of an interface. A user flow is a visual representation of how many actions should be taken to achieve some goal during the usage of an app. Let's focus on a particular goal from the project brief that we have received from a client. One of the goals that have been defined in our project brief is to increase the number of active investors to 500k by the end of the first year from launching the platform. For supporting this goal, we should create an easy to understand sign up and login flows that are also mentioned in the list of pages. Those onboarding flows are key pages for smooth registration of new users as well as their login to the platform. User flow is represented by a diagram which is composed of predefined elements. Before we will create a user flow diagram, we should definitely define those key elements. Designers often use various shapes and colors to differentiate particular functions in the user interface. Let's take a look at the four main shapes and their functions. The first one is a rectangle. This is the most common shape in user flow diagrams, representing pages or destinations in the user interface. You can easily imagine it on examples of the particular screens with a login form, for example. The next element is an arrow. If we talk about flows, the arrows are definitely the key shape showing the directions and relations in the diagram. Then we have circles, which often stand for an action which should be done to continue within the process. In our case, it's a process of registration or login in the platform. The last shape is a diamond, also known as a decision diamond. This shape represents a proper decision which has to be done. Within a decision diamond, there is usually a question which divides the flow into at least two different destinations, which are determined by answers to a question inside the diamond. Again, the first step is to download the project that is available in the description of this chapter. In the template, we can see three predefined elements: decision diamond, rectangle representing a screen or a page, and circle showing an action. As you have probably noticed, the missing one is an arrow. In the previous chapter we have used the predefined shape of Figma in the upper panel, but for the user flow diagram I will show you a little shortcut. The shortcut is called Autoflow and it's a Figma plugin. Figma plugins are extensions created by designers and developers beyond the Figma team. Plugins allow others to contribute to the progress of Figma functionalities. To manage Figma plugins, all you have to do is to click on the Figma icon in the left upper corner and then click on Plugins. Click on the Browse Plugins in Community in the bottom part of the menu, then just search to Autoflow and install the plugins. After installing, you will see it in the menu in the Plugins section in the menu available on the design canvas. But let's take a look how it works in action. After running the plugin, you will see the following window, where you can adjust how the arrow should look like. For our purposes, we will make the stroke width 3 and 20 roundness. For the terminals, we will not need any on the start of the arrow, but it should end with the line arrow, I guess. To apply an arrow on the particular elements, you have to select first the starting element. Let's try it for example on diamond, then hold shift and select the ending element. The arrow will be automatically generated based on the position of the element. I think it's a great shortcut for the case of user flows, so we will keep it opened and start with creating the diagram. First we should define the scenario, or if you want a state, which occurs before this user flow happens. As we are creating login and sign up flow, the state should be formed as I want to use the platform. In our case it's the Laplace platform, because before I will do it, it's simply mandatory to have my own account. Then we should clarify if a user is new or not, because it will determine if he or she will select sign up or login. So after I want to use the platform, there should be a decision diamond. Inside the decision diamond we can type new user with a question mark, and as we have mentioned, this decision diamond should lead to two separated pages. First one is login, which we can put on the left side for example, and the second one is the sign up on the right side. Once we create the rectangles for each one, we can connect them to the decision diamond. We should first select the diamond because it's the starting point, then hold shift and select the rectangle. Arrow will be generated automatically thanks to the Autoflow plugin. To make everything clear, we can add text expressing the answer on the question in the decision diamond. So on the left side there will be no, because if you are already registered, you will go through the login only. The opposite situation is with sign up, because this page will be used when users don't have account yet, so he or she is new. Let's imagine that we are on the login page now. For going through the process of entering the platform, we should do an action. Action is represented by a circle, so let's use our predefined element and put it below the rectangle. To be concrete, this action will be some kind of input where we should provide username or email in the first input, then there will be a separated text field for entering a password, and for better conversion and easier overall process, we can add a button for login through social media. Then we can select the rectangle, hold again Shift and select the circle to generate an arrow. The same step we should add for the sign up flow, but there will be one more additional input for repeating the password to make sure that user entered exactly the password that he or she wanted. Again, click on the sign up rectangle and then on the circle to generate an arrow instantly. After the action, we should validate the input, so that means to say if the entered email, password and so on are correct, and the user may enter the platform. Both of those levels will be decision diamonds, so we can copy and paste 2 diamonds below the login flow and 2 diamonds within the sign up flow. Firstly, we should check if the user already exists. This diamond will be the same for the both flows, so we can type user exists with a question mark and copy the text to the second diamond. Don't forget to add arrows to express the direction of the flow. As we have learned, the decision diamond should have at least 2 answers. The first one will lead directly to the next decision diamond. This situation happens when a user already exists in the case of login. In the case of sign up form, it will lead again to the next double diamond, but the answer will be no, because if you want to create a new account, the user can't exist because you can't of course duplicate the accounts, so the answer is no. For the login flow, if the user doesn't exist, we should navigate a user back to the login page and display some kind of text saying that entered inputs don't match for any registered users. We should definitely add an arrow which will start in the diamond and end again in the login page. For the sign up, it will be reversed, because if a user exists, we should be navigated to the sign up page again, where we will see the text saying that user already registered, and we should choose different details for our registration form. Within the second decision diamond representing a new validation step, we should formulate the diamond a little bit differently. For the sign-in flow, we have to know if the inputs are correct. That means that in the database, email and password are matching an account. If not, we should add an arrow again back to login and display proper text saying that this combination of inputs don't exist. If yes, we can finally add the rectangle called overview. It's the final destination of our 2 flows, because it's a landing page of the platform which users want to use. If the inputs aren't correct, we should again navigate the user back to the login page of the platform. And finally, let's take a look at the sign up flow. As the inputs are new, we can't say if they are correct or not. On the other hand, we can validate if the inputs meet the criteria that are set for a new account. You can imagine, for example, if the password contains the requirement strange attributes. If not, we can again send a user back to the sign up page. If yes, we can forward in the process, but it will be not directly to the overview page, as a new user should complete user onboarding containing various other inputs. But to simplify it, we can just add a rectangle with the user onboarding and then connect it to the platform rectangle. Of course, this onboarding process will be much more complex, but it's not that important for this course now. And that's it, our first simple login and sign up user flow is done. The biggest benefit of creating a user flow diagram is that those diagrams offer you a bird's-eye view, giving you the ability to evaluate various options and finding easier ways for users to achieve their goals. It's good to identify issues in your process as soon as possible. You will avoid much more expensive changes that might appear later during the prototyping phase. That's why we create user flows. That was all for this chapter and also for this module. In the next module we will continue with the ideation phase of the process, but we will start creating proper screens. Don't forget to complete the quiz and see you soon.